Peace and blessings. Greetings to you. I'm Brother John Muhammad, President of the Childs Park Neighborhood Association and co-founder of the Community Development and Training Center. And this is our first in a series of Lakeside Chats. And we have members of the community here, our friends and family. And we're just here to talk about some of the topics and pressing issues of the day and just get different input and insight and hopefully share that insight with the rest of the community and start a conversation on how we can improve the quality of life for the people in the community. Okay, so right now we're coming up on an election cycle, and we're actually in the middle of an election cycle. And so what we want to do is just kind of discuss your opinions on voting. And is voting relevant? Is voting necessary? Should we vote? And if so, why? Anybody want to jump in? Huh?
No.
Are you a registered voter?
I am a registered voter and I do vote. There was a time that I did not vote because I didn't think my vote mattered, but I know it does matter, even if it's just one. That one can make a difference. And if we don't get out there and vote for the people who will represent us, then we'll stay in the back of the bus,
right,
like we've always been.
Right.
So it is important that we get out and vote. Whether you think your vote counts or not, it does make a difference. It does matter.
Excellent. Kofi? I know you vote though.
Yeah.
You
no, but what you said was key because like your one vote alone, you question the power of that. But imagine if the community who shares a lot of the same values, a lot of the same interests, imagine if they voted as a block. I think that's a lot of the work we're trying to do is get the community to be aware, because the idea is that then the community will vote as a block, and then the people who are being voted into office, the powers that be, will understand the power of the community and they'll take it seriously when they're deciding what they're going to do to improve in the city.
Right.
Joe, what you think about that?
I used to have some mixed emotions about voting, but even though I'm unable to vote, I'm leaning more towards that the votes count.
Okay.
But I think one of the major issues that we got to keep in mind is that you can't just go out to vote. You got to know who you're voting for, what you're voting for. So you got to make yourself educated and aware. You know what I mean? So you don't just go for the rhetoric.
Just throwing your vote away, just anybody who come along or speak at your church, so to speak.
Absolutely.
How about you, Jermaine? What's your position on that?
Voting?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it needs to be because, like, voting for the president, there might be a bad president and somebody need to move in so they can make, like, America better.
Okay. So, Kofi, just on the votes too, can you tell me, like, because my whole position on it, I'm still not really convinced that the national elections.
Well, I can tell you
I think the higher you go, the less significant your vote becomes.
It's about that. It's about the numbers. So I can tell you for this area, let me get about to a little wonky. They draw maps called redistricting. Every 10 years they do a census and they draw new maps. But they tend to draw the maps, the politicians draw the maps to favor them. So they're picking who's going to vote for them. Now, the court said that's not fair. They said you can't say people on 20 miles apart in a body of water is fair. So now it said that the new district has to include Pinellas County and include South St. Pete.
Right.
But what that means is that you're going to have, this is going to be like a fulcrum. Because you'll have a lot of the other parts of the community that are majority white, outside of South St. Pete, and they'll vote how they'll vote. But you'll have this area of people that, like, some people don't vote that much, because a lot of the same misgivings that are expressed here. But it's like, if we can get those people to vote and vote as a block, and we let the people running for Congress know that, then they're going to, that's what I have to be accountable to. And they're going to come in this district and they're going to make sure that they take care of this area and take care of the leaders of this area.
I don't think like what you're saying, right? You're speaking the real, right? But how do you explain that to people, get them to understand that?
Right.
Because you got the majority of people can't even comprehend that. When they think about voting, they think about presidential elections on them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what turned people off from politics when they see what goes down on that level. So when it comes down to the small city elections, you don't even think, ain't nobody got time for that. So how do we explain it? Because I used to be one of those types. Hated politics. I couldn't stand a politician.
Right.
You know what I mean? We use the term kissing babies. You act like a politician with your lying self.
right.
You're real, right? Now I'm getting older. I understand that. Yeah, but it's like, how do we get the people to understand that?
Yeah.
We gotta find out what the people's priorities are, because there's a lot the city can do. I mean, have you all heard of the community redevelopment area?
No, I have not.
Okay, so what happened was that the county and the city determined that this area is so impoverished that extra property tax revenue is going to go back into the community. It's going to stay in this area. It's not going to leave. That's what they did to downtown. They created a big pot of money that they use for economic growth and development. And so that's coming here. Because of that, like, people with money are really eyeing this area. Because what typically happens is that an area is poor, so it gets designated as a community redevelopment area. Then all this tax revenue stays here. So then wealthier people see that, they start buying up stuff in the area, buying up land, buying up property, and then they build their stuff, raise the value, the community moves out, and then it becomes like a nice community without the community that was there before.
So when they're redevelopment, really they just redistributing the wealth and
relocating
the people out of the community.
So the same thing they did with Laura Park.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This will be the final thought. Now, we have this District 7 candidate forum coming up. Could you give us the date and time for that?
Yes. The District 7 candidate forum is going to be right there, the rec center, next week Tuesday at 5:30. There will be some food served.
And what's the purpose of the forum?
The purpose of the forum is for y'all to meet the 5 people wanting to represent you, see what they're about, for them to hear about what you're about. One of the co-hosts, it's co-hosted by Child Park Neighborhood Association and CDAT, but it's also co-hosted by a national movement called Fight for 15.
That's going to complete this segment, and what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and then we'll go into our next subject and our topic. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I got love for you, no lie. I give my best, I try. Someday we'll touch the sky. You're an angel, little baby. Wipe all your tears away.